Welcome back to Football Unfiltered. So we got some international friendlies that are in the book. We got a lot to talk about tonight. So we got Haiti, Brazil, and the USA getting rocked 5-2 by Belgium. And then we got the real pressure cooker. Italy is one win away from the World Cup qualification, and they've got Bosnia. Tonight, vibe, no excuses, no fluff. We're doing rapid fire, then we're getting tactical, then we ending with the question everybody's dodging. These injuries and the friendlies are stacking up. What should clubs actually do about it? So, quick ask before we start. If you're watching live, drop your panic meter for the US right now from 0 to 10. So, Ale, how you doing?
I'm doing great, coach. How about yourself?
Doing well, man. Alex, what's going on with you? Great to
I'm
have you
good.
tonight. Yeah, Alex is rocking his Brazil jersey tonight, so he knows what's going on. He's gonna be excited talking about Brazil. So let's start with some rapid fire here. So what team you think helped their cases during the first round of friendlies? So I'm gonna start with you, Alan.
What teams you said made your cases? That's what you said, or I
Yeah,
wasn't
what
sure because
team?
there's a
What
lot of
team you
stuff that.
think? So let me put it this way: what team you think helped the cases when you watch the first game? Only one game. I know France played the second game today. So what
Yeah.
team you think make the cases, or what team you think that raised some red flag,
Oh,
and what player you thought that was very impressive in the first round of friendlies? So what do you think?
well, I think the team that made their cases, the most impressive team was France. There's no way out of it. I watched the second game today. They won 3-1. They could have scored more goals. Mbappe played the last 15 minutes of the game. They didn't even need Mbappe. They didn't even need Dembele. So France is looking like a well-oiled machine. You can tell with all those years of experience those guys have been playing together. You can see how those guys are strong contenders. I mean, there's no way out of it. There, I was very impressed how they were able to held Brazil 2-1 a couple of days ago, and now beating, um, you know, they beat
Colombia,
today Colombia.
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 Colombia today 3-1, and honestly, France made an impact. I think they helped their cases. Now, as far as teams that are starting to worry me, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I will say Brazil. I'm worried about Brazil. I'm very worried about Brazil, and I'm highly concerned about the U.S. So I'm gonna leave it out there. I know there's a lot of things to talk about, but those are the two teams that I'm worried about so far.
Alex, what player impressed you the most this weekend?
I think this weekend the player that impressed me the most has to be Mbappe. I mean, he scored in the first game versus Brazil. And the fact that he's injured also, it proves a lot. So it proves that if he wasn't injured, he probably would have done more. Played against Colombia, well, started against Colombia. Um, but for right now, I think it was a good decision for him to join the friendlies, even though he is injured. Um, I
I mean,
think
he's not
that
injured. Listen, hold on, man. You can be injured and join the friendlies. How is he injured? He's
what?
ready to go, man. Dude, listen,
No, I
Alex.
said
They will
Mbappe.
not.
Mbappe, not
Real
Vinny.
Madrid will not. Hold on. Real Madrid will not let him go on an international friendlies if he's not healthy. There's no such things that you injured and you
Okay.
go play in the friendlies. They would not do that. They would not do that. I mean, there's guys they get hurt even in practice. They had to go back to their clubs because they got hurt. I mean, Placide
Mm,
is one of the example from Haiti. So he's not injured. He's back at it. I think they use those games as a tune-up for him so he can get back to Real Madrid. But he's not injured. You don't
okay.
send the injured players to play for the international team. So go back to what you were saying.
No, so I think just that. But I feel like we need to see more throughout the international break, the friendlies ahead of the World Cup. But right now, as it is, I think Mbappe has proved that he could be very helpful to France in the World Cup.
Fair enough. I mean, if I were to say myself, I agree with you guys. I think France was very impressive, and the reason, and then the day that they were so impressive was today. You think about it, France was playing with the B team. I mean, they had all the eight, starters on the bench. They played with the B team and still dominated Colombia, and Colombia was playing with the A team. So I think from a friendly perspective, I think yes, they were very impressive. For me, the team that I know we're gonna talk about the U.S. a little bit later, but the team for me that kind of showed me some red flag was Argentina. Argentina was the game they played. They were terrible. I mean, that's the worst I've seen Argentina play. Uh, they played with no intensity, no fire. I mean, the game was boring to say the least. And I'm not the type of fan who wants to look at the score sheet because the score sheet it's one thing, but when I look at it, is Argentina was supposed to play Spain this weekend. If the finalissima was still on, but for you to come out and play at home, and play in Argentina in front of your home crowd and look that bad, it's crazy. So I thought that they played to the level of the competition. They were just did enough to get by. It's unfortunate that it's not unfortunate. Like when you're looking at the guys, for me, the player that was very impressive to me was Nico Pass. So Nico Pass was very impressive when he played for Argentina in the first half. I mean, he was very decisive. Obviously, he scored a goal. Again, he scored a goal against in that game, but it was very, very, very good in my opinion. But the other players, I mean, Rodrigo de Paul. I mean, I don't know what Scaloni have for this guy, but this guy, he's already past his prime. He doesn't offer anything. I mean, even when he plays for Miami, he doesn't offer anything for Miami. He's just like a regular player. The good news about Argentina that I feel like it's not the time to raise the flag yet. Uh, because the other part is they be battle tested. So the last four tournaments, the last three tournaments they played, they won those tournaments. So it's the same team. They just bring in some new players to kind of test them out before the World Cup. So I think that's the only good thing that they got going on. But when you think about it, they're playing they're not playing good competition before the World Cup. So for me, I think that kind of worrisome. But the fact that the team's been together and they be battle tested, they know how to play tournament. They just try to test people. So that's probably why I'm not raising the flag all the way up. But uh, Argentina got to get it together. So uh, but we'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen. They have another game on Tuesday. We'll see how they respond from the game. But anyway, so that's what I want to say on my rapid fire from the window recap. So let's talk about the biggest topic here. So Haiti played yesterday against Tunisia in Canada. Uh, they lost 1-0. So uh, obviously, it's a friendly game. It's a game for a preparation for the World Cup. So, Ali, I'm going to start with you first. Were you, as a Haitian, as a fan, this is the first time that we getting ready for the World Cup. So, were you impressed with the team performance last night?
Yes, I was really shocked. I was really impressed. I did not expect to see Haiti play the way it played. I mean, I was impressed. I was amazed. Yes, we lost the game, but to see those players play together for the first time, there was a lot of new players coming from Europe that were part of the team. I know we studied the game really slow in the first half, like we always do. It takes us a lot of time to get a rhythm and get into the game. That's why we conceded the first goal within the first 7 minutes of the game, which was unfortunate. But as we started building some momentum and starting building some trust and confidence, you could see us, you know, by the second half, we're a completely new team. There were a lot of possession, there was a lot of passing, we were moving left and right. Um, I was easy dog playing well. I mean, we were looking like a serious World Cup team. For a moment, I think that's the first time I've seen Haiti actually not playing defense or waiting, expecting people to score goals on us. I actually thought that we have a legitimate chance to not even win, but even equalize the game. And it was unfortunate that we couldn't score, but I feel like the team was impressive. And I feel like if the coaching staff can learn those opportunities and kind of build the team and look at those areas of opportunities and position the players better, get some chemistry, more chemistry on the team. The second game against, I think we're playing against Iceland, right? The second game um, could be even better. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. I did not expect that level of performance from Haiti. We lost the game, but I was really pleased with the level of performance.
Yeah, going into the weekend, I thought that that was, out of all the friendlies being played, I thought that the Haiti game was for me the most important game. Not that not that it's still a friendly, but I really wanted to see, because Alain, we talked about that in previous
Mhm.
episode. After Haiti qualified for the World Cup, we said that the most important window uh, to get ready for the World Cup is how we're gonna treat that window before we actually go to the World Cup, right? It's the type of opponent that we play. We play, some friendlies and stuff like that. So I thought that that game, in my opinion, was very important, at least to gauging the team, to start gauging the team against, future opponent in the World Cup. Just like you, I was very impressed with the way the team played. And then they were very, because last time we watched Haiti was when Haiti played. Uh, uh, was it who they play? Nicaragua, right? To go to the
Qualifiers.
World. Uh,
Mhm. Yeah, for the
to go.
qualifiers.
Yeah, for the qualifying, right? So last time we played Haiti, obviously we scored two goals right away, and the second half we looked terrible. I mean, we could possess the ball, we couldn't do anything, but we just did enough because we had to win the game. We just did enough to win the game, which that was the most important. It's all about the results. So that's why going into this game, I really want to see the chemistry. I wanted to see how the team would look more from a tactical standpoint. And the way they play yesterday with a lot of possession, like you mentioned, a lot of good possession, some good crosses. Obviously, we were not decisive in a final third, but I think that would come up with the right formation. But we'll see. But I think that the fact that those guys play, and then also there was a lot of Haitians in the stands rooting for Haiti, so which is kind of prelude to what's going to happen in the World Cup. So I was very impressed with the way they handled the situation. Obviously, they did not win the game, but like I said, it's a friendly. It was a way for us to gauge ourselves and to see how we. I mean, Tunisia is also a World Cup team, and also in 2018, in 2022, Tunisia beat France in the third game. So when you think about it, it's playing against a World Cup team and look that way. So I think that was positive. in my opinion. So like I said, we have another game this weekend. Let's see how we fare against Iceland. Not this weekend, but this on Tuesday. So let's see how we fare against Iceland. But I was very impressed with the team performance. So Alex, what player from Haiti was very disappointed in your opinion?
Disappointing.
Yeah.
Um, Honestly, I don't know about disappointing because I mean, when I was watching the game, I mean, it was wonderful. I mean, we were seeing like a Haiti team who was passing the ball, keeping most of possession, keeping the possession, especially in their box, was the most important thing. Well, not their box, but their half of the field, which was very important for Haiti. And I think they really and we minimized the amount of shots taken on the goalkeeper. But I think they had an early goal, and that really contributed to our defense because that's when we started picking up on defense, picking up on plays that we should have picked up on. Like the first goal was it was a defensive error, so we had to fix that. So I think that I don't really know who I think was the worst, but I think overall as a team effort, it was amazing. I mean, we had 1-2s coming fast, quick, and a lot of chances and opportunities. We even saw we saw a great header being hit into the post late in the game, which could have tied the game, but I think it was overall a very good game, but I think we should focus on the positives of the game instead of the negatives. So I don't really know.
So the only thing I saw was I think overall the team played really well, but the only thing I saw was Nazo was a little bit out of sync. Uh, I mean, there were times that we didn't know if he was on the field, but we didn't know if he was playing or if he was not playing. But I'm gonna give Nazo a pass because he's one of our heroes, and I really love him as a player. So, but I just want to make sure that I mean I'm glad Isidore made the decision to come play with Haiti because in the World Cup, you need to have pace. And then when you're looking at teams like Haiti, that's one of our strengths, right? We have to play with a lot of speed. We have to play with a lot of strength, because a lot of the team, that's what they're gonna expect from us to be very physical, to be very fast. So, and I feel like Isidore give us that edge because of his pace. But it's just like for me, I saw that Nazo. I know he hasn't been playing. Uh, Lately because he had to leave Iran because of what's going on in Iran. But I could tell that he was a little bit out of sync. But anyway, it's just one game, so there's no reason for us to panic yet. But so it's interesting to me. It will be interesting to me to see who they start as forwards, in the next game. I know Isidore came in the second half, so I would like to see how the coach gonna start coming next game. So anyway, so Haiti is looking good, but we'll see what's gonna happen in the second game. So we got Alex here rocking his Brazil shirt. Big Brazilian fan. So obviously Brazil play uh, France the other day. So the biggest question is, does Brazil miss Neymar? So I'm gonna start with you, Alex.
Well, I think obviously we're lacking in certain areas when you think about it because we should have. I honestly have to say, playing against France was gonna be hard either way. They made it to the finals of the World Cup, so I am pretty happy about the result. But I do feel like the team is lacking something. It's lacking. I think the problem lies in the midfield. because again, we have Vinny Jr. and we have certain players that have just came onto the national team, and I think that that lies into the problem of Neymar because they don't have an experienced player. They do have Casemiro, but it's not enough. I think they need more experienced players who have been playing with each other for a long time, because these players have just been adjusting to each other, finding their style of play, and I think that comes in big. So I think that they're really missing Neymar because I don't know why Carlo Ancelotti didn't call him up this time, but all I know is he has to do it before the World Cup. Like, he has to make the World Cup list because I think it's just a lack of connection, a lack of concentration. I feel like they put in all their effort versus France, but I think they need something, a click to make everything work together. Someone who can pass very well, someone who can connect with the younger players. And I feel like their squad is very young. We saw players who got called up who have been playing for the national team but didn't start the game or didn't play at all. And I think that might impact. But I think overall Brazil needs to have Neymar in that squad.
So before I go talk to ask Ale, a little bit about Brazil, I want to ask our viewers out there if they want to drop a comment. Does Brazil really need Neymar to be successful in this World Cup? So please drop a comment. We want to hear from you. Let us know if Brazil really needs Neymar in order to be successful in this World Cup. So Ale, uh, to kind of pick it back up with the Neymar conversation, I mean, for what you saw against France, uh, it's Ancelotti right of keeping Neymar off the team.
I think he's right. I think he's right. I think here's my problem. All right. I'm not gonna today stand in front of you guys and our viewers and say that Neymar is not a talented player and he doesn't deserve a spot on the Brazilian national team. If I say that, I'll be wrong. I'm a big Brazilian fan. Yes, I want all the talented players, especially Neymar, to be part of the team. But if Neymar is not 100% physically fit or ready, how is he going to be able to contribute to the team? That doesn't make sense to me. If he's injured or he's trying to get back in shape, why would you put him on the team? You probably are going to risk, impacting the team negatively instead of adding value to the process. So I feel like we need to allow Neymar to get back to his natural shape. Let him recover. He needs to do it fast. Is there a void in the midfield, like Alex said? Yes. No, clearly the Brazil that we saw over the weekend is not the Brazil that we're used to see, that we've seen over the last 30, 40 years. Um, but I can tell you, I don't think Neymar will bring anything new to the team because he's not 100%. So if he's fully fit, yes, bring him in. Yesterday, I totally agree. He will contribute. But if he's not fit, you're going to put him on the bench to do what? To warm up the bench? What is he going to do? So that's where I get a disconnect when I hear the fans chanting his name. I understand that we're all passionate Brazilian fans, but you want to have the best people for the job. And right now, I'm not 100% convinced that Neymar is fit to be part of the team today. Maybe in a month or in a month and a half, but as of today, I don't know if he's ready yet to be part of the team.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think I think what I see with people like Alex and everybody else is they still think of Neymar of 2014. It's still that's what they're thinking. I mean, they're thinking of that Neymar of 2014 or Neymar when he moved to PSG and he was tearing up the league at PSG. So they think they still miss that Neymar and they think that that's the Neymar currently playing. Unfortunately, Alex, I'm gonna have to be honest with you. He's not. He's not even tearing up the Brazil league. He's not even doing that. He barely play. He play one game and then he's out. So when you have you gotta play the guys that are playing at the highest level. Alain is right. Neymar is a great talent. I mean, Neymar is a great talent. He's probably one of the best talent. And I think the thing with Neymar, the reason we're talking about Neymar that much is because of social media. I think it was 20 years ago when there was no social media, when you were looking at just based on performance, he would never be talked about, right? I mean, Brazil Brazil had Romario that was tearing up the league when he was playing, and Brazil didn't take him to the World Cup. And those guys were playing better than Neymar. And I think right now, because of the leverage of social media, Neymar has a lot of pull. A lot of people follow him in social media. And then we always go back and looking at when Neymar was playing at Barcelona. And we're looking at those clips, and then we say that, oh man, we need to put this guy in the in the team. And I think that's what he's doing. I mean, Ancelotti knows football. I mean, the dude was the coach of Real Madrid. He knows what needs to happen. So if he's so far, he'd be like, hey, you need to be healthy. I mean, it's a long tournament. You think about it, there's more games this year in this tournament, there's more teams. And then also, it's no longer 7 games, it's an 8 game. And because of that, the recovery part is very small. The last thing you don't want is you can put this guy in the first game and then he hurt himself and then you lose him for the rest of the tournament. So that's how he's playing right now. Neymar cannot go 3 games or 5 games a month without getting hurt. Unfortunately, that's the situation. And I think fans are different. We see things from a different perspective because we'd be like, man, we love this guy. This is a guy we think we should be getting, so he has to be in the team. Definitely right. If Neymar is fit and then he's tearing it up, yes, he deserves to be in the World Cup. But how you gonna explain to somebody that when you got, for instance, you got a Vini Jr. Obviously, Vini Jr. gonna be in the World Cup, but you got Vini Jr. who's playing in a high level in Real Madrid. You got a guy like Martinelli that's playing a high level for Arsenal, and then you gonna drop. I'm not saying they're gonna drop Vini, or you gonna drop somebody like Martinelli because you feel like you have to bring Neymar in the World Cup, and Neymar is not fit enough to play in the World Cup. I don't get it. So, and I think he's doing a great job leveraging the social media. so, so that's why we're getting all these calls for Neymar to be playing because I think if because of the social media aspect. And I think people still living in the past. They think Neymar is still the player that he used to be 10 years ago. Unfortunately, he's not. So, anyway, let's move to the States now. So, yesterday, we played Belgium and got killed 5-2 against Belgium. Are the United States ready for the World Cup? I'm going to start with you, Ali.
No, the United States were not ready for the World Cup. And it's funny because I remember us having that conversation last year about Pochettino, and I remember telling you he needed to get fired. Do you remember that podcast? It's somewhere. If you go to our YouTube channel, guys, you can go back and you will find this episode when I said this coach is a fraud. He's a fraud. He has done nothing with this U.S. team. How can you be a few weeks away from a World Cup that's going to happen here in the States and your team cannot even play a decent game against Belgium? Don't get me wrong, Belgium is a good team, but nobody expected Belgium to beat the US 5-2 just a few weeks before a World Cup. You're going to play Portugal tomorrow.
2 months, man, 2 months.
Okay? 2 months. You have Portugal coming up soon, and you're gonna play Germany after Portugal. Do you think the U.S. is gonna be able to beat this Portugal team that we just saw yesterday playing against Mexico? You think they could beat Germany? I mean, what are we talking about here? I don't understand how can you play 2 months from a World Cup and lose 5-2. The team is disorganized. They're not playing defense. They're not rotating the ball. They're completely lost. They play a decent first half. Yeah, we had a decent first half, and I don't know what happened in the second half. We totally lost control. I think it's a coaching issue, and I still think that Pochettino was not the right hire for that job, and I
So if
stand by it.
who you think is the right hire? Who you think they should have gone after?
Well, Zidane is available. Why didn't go after Zidane?
Zidane
Put
doesn't
some
want
money
to.
out. Go get him.
Zidane
Did somebody ask him? You don't know what Zidane wants. You
Zidane
don't know what
didn't
he
want.
wants.
Zidane
We
want.
have the
Zidane's
money. We
gonna
have
be
the
the next.
resources. Make him an offer that he won't refuse, and he will take the job. Come on, coach.
Zidane didn't want the job, man. The club didn't even want the job. Zidane's gonna be the next coach for France.
Of course,
That's
Zidane is going to be
always
the next
been
coach.
that's always been his
Yeah.
dream to coach the French national team. So my point is, it's. I mean, who? I mean, who to go after? Who's available right now that's gonna turn this ship around?
No,
I mean,
right
there
now we're
is no.
stuck. We're
No, what I'm
Jurgen Klopp.
saying is
stuck.
when they make the hire, they did not have a lot of great coaches out to do that. It's not like Mourinho. I mean, they went after Klopp, Jurgen Klopp. They went after him. He said no. So my thing is, he's not the right coach, but I mean, my thing is, it's just like there was no great coach available at that time, for
Do
the
you think he was a
U.S.
good hire? Do you think Pochettino is doing a great job? Do you think he was the right hire? I mean, right
I
now,
mean,
okay, he got hired. Fine, he got hired. We can't go back in the past and change things.
so so
Do you feel
so
like this coach is doing a good job right now? That's my question.
so let's look at the tournament that the U.S. played lately, right? So they went to the Gold Cup, and then he went to the Gold Cup. He went and played in a final in a Gold Cup with any of his stars, right? So he made it all the way to the final with any of his stars. I think what I'm seeing with the team, I think the team's lacking identity. So we think about it before the game yesterday, the U.S. was playing well. They beat Uruguay and Tampa very good. They beat them. So what I'm saying is, so the problem I see with the U.S. is they look good for 2 games and then they go down, and then I think that's what happened against Belgium. So for me, let's looking at how they're gonna bounce back against Portugal. Not even from a score line standpoint, but how the team's gonna play against Portugal to see what's going on. I think for me, when it comes to the U.S., I think the roster is not good enough. I think that's what it is. I think the roster is not good enough. That's why you see so much inconsistency with the roster. I think McKinney is playing really really well, and I think that he's the most important thing. I think he's the most important player in the U.S. right now. He's our most important player. The reason is the most is so versatile. It's so versatile. He can play any position. He can play defense. He can play midfield. He can also score goals. So I think that he's the most important player in the U.S. Hopefully, he goes to the World Cup very healthy. Pulisic is the most talented player, but I don't think he's the most important player. So what I'm saying is, I think it's a talent issue. I think the roster is not good enough. That's why they're so inconsistent, and that's why they're consistent. I mean, can Pochettino do better? I think Pochettino is missing with the team is he's not creating any type of identity with the team. So you don't know what the US is about. I don't know if they are a defensive team. I don't know if they're a possessive team. I don't know what they are. So I think that's the part that I need to put on the coach. You need to find an identity and stick with it. But I think one of the reason they can't find an identity is because because of the talent level they have. They're just not good enough. I mean, they're just not good enough. But is this something? I think that that was a very bad look for the US to lose that way, especially as the host country when it's supposed to be one of your best generation of soccer players. And then you got the opportunity to host the World Cup. You got to play at home. Now every game, especially you didn't play any tournament, you didn't play any qualifier or anything to get to the World Cup. So every game, every game is important. Every game is an opportunity for you to show yourself. So I think that's where I feel like there's a problem with that team. And I hope Pochettino is not waiting for the World Cup to really show his true colors. And I don't think that's gonna happen. But that's where I've seen I was just like, man, there's too much inconsistency with the team and they need to figure it out quick. Otherwise, it's gonna be one and done for the U.S. So, Alex, you shaking your head. Anything you want to add to the U.S. debacle against Belgium?
Um, I think that the US, I don't know if they're ready because on one hand, it was Belgium that they were playing, a team that did fairly well in the World Cup. I think they're better from when they were in the World Cup, and I think that's a big thing. But I think they should have done better because they had the first goal. They they had the ability to do it. They had the players, especially. Um, I think I think there's a side because yes, they're playing Belgium, but they have been playing very well. Especially that win against Uruguay and they won against Paraguay, which are actually in their group in the World Cup. So I don't know if I don't think it's a problem of them not being ready for the World Cup. I think it's a problem with them having consistency. I think that they're a very inconsistent team when it comes to playing games and getting the wins and the losses. I think that it's necessary for them to take action on being more consistent because you can't win to Uruguay and then lose to Belgium. You can't win to Brazil and then lose to a smaller country. It doesn't really work that way, and I think that's one thing that the US has to worry about coming into the World Cup. But when you look at their group though, it's not a very hard group. So I think within those 3 games they might be able to get to the knockouts. But yeah, I don't think it's a problem of them being ready for the World Cup because they're not too far. They just need to work on these small things and work as a unit. Yeah, I think they played fairly well, but they have to work on these things.
I think we are thinking that the US is like Argentina or Brazil, or Italy. Those are the teams where doing qualifiers or friendlies before the World Cup, they always look like, they're struggling, right? But all of us, we know the moment that Brazil gets in the World Cup or Argentina or Italy or Germany, they're going to raise their level of play, right? And it's going to be a whole different team. You just have to get them in the rhythm. You need to get those guys going. The U.S. just doesn't have, to your point, coach, they don't have the level of talent, they don't have the experience, and they're not Argentina or Brazil. So all this prep should have been done already. And I don't understand what you said. He's gonna wait to the World Cup to show his true colors. There are no colors to be shown. You know, I think he's been hiding, behind, the World Cup qualifiers and all this stuff happening. But honestly, I think he's being called out. I think he's been the biggest scam in U.S. soccer history. I think he's a scam. Here you go. I said it. I said it. Pochettino is a scam. I'm not saying because he's an Argentinian. I'm just saying that he's a true scam. That's it.
Love it, man. That's what we do here. We keep it we keep it unfiltered. We keep it
That's right.
unfiltered.
That's
No, we
right.
keep it unfiltered. But yeah, but right. I think Ale, you absolutely right in your description of the whole situation. Yes, U.S. doesn't have they don't have the type of team or the type of history when it comes to this tournament to be like, oh, we're just gonna turn it on in the World Cup. So I hope Pochettino is not going with that mindset, saying that, oh, all of a sudden in the World Cup they're gonna be a different team. But I think I think Pochettino is saying that because that's a way to keep the fans engaged. But I think that his biggest problem it doesn't have the talent pool. I mean, that's one of the biggest problem. It's not like it's not like you have a team of stars like like Argentina or Brazil. It's and the reason I'm saying that because you brought it up. It's not like you have all these players that's high caliber players, and then you can get them to play together, right? Because you don't have the right tactics or you don't have the right chemistry to play them. The US doesn't have that luxury, right? They have good players. They have generational. It's a nice group of players that did really well 4 years ago. But I think the lack of consistency is because the players they are, So uh, it's not like you have those guys are tearing up leagues where they at. I mean, I think Winston McKinney is the only is playing really well. And then when you think about Pulisic, he started the season really well, but now he gets hurt very easy. So now he's just up and down. So and then when you're looking at it, everybody else that is part of the team, where I don't even know where he's playing at right now. I mean, I know he's playing in France, but they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So I think I hope that something I hope that they get it together, like Alex mentioned, because where they at on the group, so they should be on paper get to second round. So we'll see what happens. But again, before we start throwing flags and have the red flag all the way up, let's see how they fare against Iceland to see that
No,
if
Portugal.
no, they play
Portugal.
Portugal. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's see how
And then
they fare
Germany,
against
right? And then Germany.
yeah. Let's see how they fare against
Okay.
those teams. Uh, and see how they fare against those teams and see that if the game against Belgium was a wake up call. So we'll see. Maybe they step up and play a little bit better. So we'll see what happens. So, uh, man, things are getting very hot in this panel here. So Italy, we talked about it last episode. Like Italy, will they make it to the World Cup? So before we start talking about the next game, I want the viewers to tell us: will Italy qualify for the World Cup or not? So Italy will play Bosnia, so they won their first game. Obviously, for people that don't know, Italy is playing right now. A playoffs game in order for them to get to the World Cup. So they beat the first team. So now they're going to be playing against Bosnia, and they win against Bosnia, they will qualify to the World Cup for the World Cup. So one win away. I know that I like to talk about Italy because that's my dad's favorite team. My dad loves Italy, and I've been giving him a lot of hard time and say, "Hey man, are you guys gonna make it or not? Are you guys gonna be in the World Cup or not?" So I'm gonna start with you, Alain. Will Haiti beat Bosnia to get to the World
Italy,
Cup?
bro, not
Uh,
Haiti.
no,
Italy.
oh man, Italy. Sorry.
Come
Sorry,
on,
man.
man.
Hey, sorry. Will Italy beat Bosnia to get to the World Cup?
150% yes. Italy will beat Bosnia. Italy will make it to the World Cup. They've missed two consecutive World Cups in a row, 2018 and 2022. They're not gonna miss a third one. That the soccer lords, the gods of soccer will never let that happen. Italy will make it to the World Cup. They will win the game. They just have to keep pace. They have to remain disciplined. They have to go back to their own identity. I feel like control the game, control the pace. Don't try to overdo it. Don't make stupid mistakes. You win the game, you get in. That's it. It doesn't matter if you score 7 goals or you score 1 goal. Just 1-0 will be good enough. Luck it out at the end, block it, build a wall like you've always done, and then you go to the World Cup. Yes, they will make it, and we want them to make it. We need Italy to make it to the World Cup.
No, definitely. So, Alex, what player you think is going to be the most important player uh, uh, in Italy next game?
I don't really know who's playing, but I think that Italy might choke against Bosnia. I mean, honestly, I don't I don't know about Italy because I don't know. I've been hearing you guys say good things about Italy, but honestly, I feel like they choke a lot. And yeah, I mean like I understand Norway is a very good team, but I feel like Italy should be able to beat Norway. I mean, they lost 2 times. So, I mean, I feel 60-40. I think 60% Bosnia will wait. Italy will probably win. Man, actually no. I'm gonna go 70-30. Italy should win, but they do choke. So I
Come on,
think
man.
that
You're all over the place, man. You say they got a choke, and then
I'm
now
just
you say they should. I mean, what is going
I
Yeah,
don't
what
on?
is
know.
it? Are they winning or
I
are they
think
not winning,
I mean
Alex?
they
What? Come on.
they struggled against Israel. They they lost to Norway. I don't know. It could go either way.
Pick a
It's just Italy
side.
are very
Pick a side,
they're
man.
inconsistent again. Like they're inconsistent. So I'm gonna have to say they're barely gonna win it. I think barely. All right.
Are they gonna
So,
win it?
so
Yeah,
they're
they're
gonna win
barely
it,
gonna.
yes or no?
So they're winning. They're winning. They're going
Uh,
to the World Cup. Yes or no?
yeah, I think they're going to the World Cup. I mean, that's
Okay.
what.
Yay!
All
You
right.
made a decision.
Yeah,
Wait, wait,
that's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say they're gonna make it. They're gonna make it.
wait.
Good. Awesome.
Hey, Alex, man. Thanks for making a decision, man. I mean, it's just saying Italy gonna choke, and then 70% they're gonna win. I mean, come on.
But like on the other hand, though, on the other, no, I think they're gonna make it. I
All right.
think, yeah, I think they're gonna make it.
Hey, don't be taking too hard, man. Don't be taking. Hey, I'm with you guys. I think this is it for Italy. This is it for Italy. They have the players to get them over the hump, and I believe that they're gonna make it. Uh, they have to make it. It's one of those that you need Italy in the World Cup, especially Italy in the World Cup in the U.S. The last time they had a World Cup in the U.S., Italy went all the way to the final and played against Brazil, and they lost the final. So I think they want to go back to avenge that, especially the way they lost with Baggio, missing the PK. Yeah, you want to see Italy back in the World Cup. I mean that's a team that won the World Cup 4 times. So as a fan, as a football fan, you want Italy to win, but I don't think it's going to be an easy feat for Italy. Bosnia also, uh, has history of making the World Cup. The last couple World Cups, they were in the World Cup in Brazil in 2014. So Bosnia wants to go to the World Cup too, and Bosnia has a huge population in the U.S. As a matter of fact, St. Louis, it has the most Bosnian outside of uh, the capital. So so they wanted to make the World Cup. So for the fans living in the US have the opportunity to watch Bosnia play in the World Cup. So we'll see what's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna be a defensive battle between Italy and Bosnia, but we'll see what's gonna happen. So I'm rooting for Italy because of my dad. I like to see Italy win to go to the World Cup, but we'll see what's going to happen. So I'm going to ask Alex one more time. So who's going to win the game, Alex?
Um, you know what? I'm gonna go Bosnia now.
Ah.
No, no, no. Okay, okay. I want Bosnia to win, but I know Italy are gonna win. So yeah, Italy are gonna win. But I want Bosnia though.
Uh,
I don't know. I just like Bosnia. I don't know. There's just something about Bosnia.
so anyway, before we go to the next topic, obviously Alain kind of alluded that earlier to go back and old episode and watch what he said about Pochettino. So please, if you're gonna miss this, if you're not watching it live, we also on YouTube. Uh, so check our YouTube channel under Football Unfiltered, and you can watch any episode if you want to go back and see where Alex is struggling picking up a team. So we can go back in the archives and say this is who he picked. So he can go and then following week and say, oh, by the way, I picked this team to win. So we can
Yeah,
always
that's
go
what he's
back
gonna
in the
do.
yeah,
He's
we can
edging.
always
He's
go
trying to
back.
edge.
No, no.
Yeah,
Bosnia's
we
gonna
can
win now
so we
because
always
you
go
guys did
back in
that.
the
Bosnia's winning now.
archives and see who went. Also, if you want to support Football Unfiltered, we currently have shirts and hats of Football Unfiltered. You're a big fan. We love you guys. You guys have been doing a great job supporting us. So if you want to get a shirt just like the word a hat like the one I'm wearing, you can always go to fadedatcommunity.com. As a matter of fact, there's a 2026 uh, World Cup page. Once you go to the page and under fitdatcommunity.com, the 2026 World Cup page, you see the hat, you see a couple shirts about Haiti, how we as Haiti is getting ready for the World Cup. So the fans they can start wearing the shirts for the World Cup games, etc. So please go on www.fitdatcommunity.com. Now, let's talk about the next topic, which is we saw a couple players go down due to injury. One of them is Rafinha, and Rafinha is going to be out for a month because of the injury that they pick up against France. Also, we have other players also uh, that got hurt and is gonna be out. We have one Argentina player, is a young guy. He tore his ACL in practice. So
Mm.
went into duty and played for Argentina, tore his ACL for practice. So I know Ale kind of talk about that when with that finalissima got canceled. He said maybe that's a good thing, especially when you have two big teams like that playing. There's always the possibility of people getting hurt, and also we still got the Champions League going. So will with the friendlies happening, do you think some of the teams should be calling the top stars and say, hey man, you play one game. You don't need to play the second game. Why don't you come back and get ready for the season? So do you think some owners should be thinking that way? Ali, I'm gonna start with you first.
I don't think so because it's unfair in a way because they still have to build that chemistry on their national team, right? You still have to get that chemistry going. You have to work with the coach. The World Cup is still the World Cup. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You could get fired from your coach, from your team that you're playing, but you need to also, winning a World Cup for those major stars, it's a big deal. So I think I like what France is doing, where they will play their starters at first in the first game, and they see what they need to see. Then they will start the B team and try to do it that way. I know Dembele didn't play. There's other players that didn't play. today, and I saw Mbappe play for 15 minutes. Maybe that's the approach they need to do. For example, Brazil, I don't think there was any reason to have Vini play the entire game. Nothing was happening for Brazil. You know, whether Vini played the first half or the second half, nothing was going to happen. There was no cohesion. There was no structure on the team. You may have a lot of talented folks. Like Rafinha was completely, gone on. I didn't even felt his presence. He just happened to be playing that game, but I didn't see him. That's not the Rafinha that I see in Barcelona. You know, a
Yeah.
lot of those players that we've seen playing in Europe this year is like, where were those guys? I mean, João Pedro, this guy completely like at Chelsea, he was playing in Brazil. He reminded me of Muller back in the 1990s. Like this guy was like ridiculously absent. So I feel like, to your point, there needs to be a happy medium where, as a coach, you see what's happening. You could see there's some gaps in your structure. Take out those players, put some new ones, let them rest, don't risk them out there. Maybe you try them again the next game and then you pull them out. That would be our recommendation to those coaches.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Alain, I don't think a lot of countries got a deep bench like France, man. I
Yeah,
mean, France
that's true.
can. France,
That's,
I mean, you got France, you got Argentina. Those guys can feel. They can feel like four teams. I mean, they have that many players in the team. But I mean, I think that's a good problem to have, like France. Like you can have Mbappe play for 15 minutes. Unfortunately, not a lot of countries can do that, and they have to. Some players have to end up playing and a lot of minutes. And probably that's the problem you see with Brazil. So you see all those guys, they have to play more times because it's not like they are that deep. I mean,
oh,
France is very, 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 very deep, man. I mean, France can field four teams. That's how many good players they have right now. But yeah, I agree with you, man. I think that, this is the World Cup. At the end of the day, everybody, all those players, if they have an opportunity to play in the World Cup, that's the most important thing for them, right? Because I mean, not even from a branding standpoint, what the World Cup gonna bring to you when it comes to exposure, you get to play for your own country, right? And that's the biggest, from a pride standpoint, that's the biggest thing that could happen. Like this, it's funny. I was thinking about it this morning. I was like, man, you know, when I was 21, 22, I was playing in college. I was like, why it wasn't that time Haiti qualified to the World Cup? And then they were looking at players that wanted to play. Maybe that could be my opportunity. But anyway, I digress here. But that's what I'm saying. It's just like you understand what comes with it to be able to represent your country. So yes, I mean obviously the clubs, regardless of what it is, the World Cup happened every 4 years. You still got a chance to play for your club the following year. Like you say, all right, even if I miss the Champions League, I always can go back next year for the Champions League. But the World Cup, you got to wait 4 years to get back to the World Cup. So, and I believe that players don't go into games with that mindset that they can get hurt, right? And I'm kind of glad that the clubs are staying away and not imposing to the national team as far as how many minutes the players play or whether or not those players get to play one game or can they play two games, etc. So I like the fact that even the owners understand that they understand that the team got to build chemistry and they're part of it. And also a lot of the players, especially the players that are playing at home, they want the owners also, like if you're looking at Barcelona and Real Madrid, those owners are Spaniard. So they want to see Spain do well. So they like for see their players to go there and perform and not get hurt. But you still got the Champions League to play, and I think that the national coaches, the national team coaches, I think they also aware of what's at stake, so they know how to play the players, so they don't overuse them. But things happen, just like I said. Placide got hurt in practice, had to go back. The kid from Argentina tore his ACL in practice, had to go back. I mean, Rafinha obviously hurt himself during the game, but those things happen. So, uh, so those guys got to keep playing, and that's how that's how they get that's how they get better. So anyway, uh, Alex, we got the champion after the international friendly. We got the championships, the Champions League coming back. Do you feel like Rafinha loss is a big loss for Barcelona?
I don't really think so because when you think about it, Rafinha hasn't been performing as well as he has been last year. So it doesn't really make a difference because Barcelona have replacements for Rafinha. They have Rashford, they have Lamine Yamal. I mean, as long as they have those players, it's just for a month. So I think that it won't be as big as a deal for Barcelona as we think it might be because they
It is
have
a
those
big deal.
replacements.
It is a big deal. No, that's the worst thing that could happen for Barcelona. It's the worst thing that could happen. Well, I'm gonna let you finish. It's the big deal. Go ahead.
Well, I don't really think it's that big because I mean, you guys have like the replacements. You have Ferran Torres, you have Rashford, you can play Lamine where he wants to be switch the positions around. I think obviously it's a good argument, but I personally think that it's not as big because when you think about it, it's just this month. It's gonna be well, not this month, but next month because it's not gonna be that long, and he'll be back. But you guys have the replacements, and he might come back a little early as expected due to those things. But he might have the sacrifice getting injured again. But I think that Barcelona have enough replacement for that 1 month.
I don't know, man. Let me tell you something. I watched Barcelona play all year. Barcelona is playing lights out because of Rafinha. Rafinha is the most important player in Barcelona. Not Lamine Yamal, not all those guys that you mentioned. The most important player. Not, I mean, look at it. Look at when Barcelona is killing. Rafinha is the one leading the team. So big, I think it's a big loss. I mean, Hansi Flick find a way to get the best at Rafinha, and when Rafinha was hurt early in the season, Barcelona was not a good team. They were not a good team until Rafinha came back healthy. Now Barcelona is clicking in all cylinders. So I think that's a big loss. Yes, you mentioned Marcus Rashford is not the same player as Rafinha. Let's be honest here. He's not the same player as Rafinha. So maybe on the international scale, they probably different players. But when it comes to Rashford at Barcelona, he cannot replace Rafinha. So I think it's a big loss for Barcelona. Hopefully they can sustain it. Because here's my thing. Rafinha is the most unselfish player in Barcelona. So when he plays, he create opportunity. Lamine Yamal is still young and he's still selfish. He's all about him. He's all about scoring his goal. He's all about he doesn't create a lot for Barcelona. So that's why I feel like losing Rafinha and Torres is not consistent. You gotta do things for him. And when you're looking at when Barcelona is playing his best, it's Rafinha is playing at his best. So I think that's a big loss. So hopefully that doesn't hurt him that much when they play against Atletico Madrid. But I think that was one of the biggest thing that happened this weekend, especially for me as a Barcelona fan to lose Rafinha to injury. So Alain, got anything you want to add?
Um, I, I don't know. I kind of agree with Alex here. I think you'll be surprised. I think there's a lot of people that have something to prove, and I think they're gonna take this opportunity to show their value. I think I was reading something about Barcelona and the salary cap, and even potentially Rashford could be impacted. Uh, they may not be able to afford him. Not sure if it's real or not, but I feel like with Rafinha being out, that presents a great opportunity for those other players to step up and replace the void. I'm not saying that Rafinha is not a great player for Barcelona. I agree with you, but I don't think that's gonna deter them from getting to the next round. I think they'll be able to get to the next round, and then as long as he's back for the finals, he should be Barcelona should be okay.
I don't know. They play Atletico Madrid, so we'll see. So anyway, let's close this out. So, Ali, anything else out of all the conversation that we have? What's your biggest hot take?
My biggest hot take is that the World Cup is in 2 months and the US is in trouble. I want to see how the next couple of games are going to be so we could have a better sense of what's really happening. Things happen. Maybe the first game was an outlier. Things happen. Let's see if they go back, they learn from their mistakes. One thing I can tell you is that, our culture, we're very resilient people. I think the US team is very resilient. So let's see what happens. The players want to win, they don't want to be embarrassed at home. So I can't wait to see how the game against Portugal is going to be and the results from the game against Germany. That's my take. That's what I want to see. Brazil is Brazil. I think Brazil is going to find a way to get back on track. And like I said, if Neymar gets better, bring him over. It's not going to hurt us, right? Seems like the entire country wants him to be there anyways. But let's hope he gets back in shape before we bring him over to the World Cup.
All right. So that's the show. So friendlies gave us clues, not conclusion, guys. But some of those clues are loud. Haiti got lessons to take. Brazil is still the ultimate friendly trap. The US has real questions after a 5-2 loss to Belgium. And Italy and versus Bosnia is pure pressure football. So if you made it this far, do us a favor, rate this episode, share it with a friend who argues about football like it's a job, and drop your final takes. Panic meter for the US and easy versus sweaty for Italy. Alain, you want to leave us with anything?
No, I mean, like I said, you said it all. I think we need to continue to track those. This week is going to be critical. We want to make sure Italy gets to the round. We're going to track the US. I will say, guys, it's exciting for the sports. There's a lot of stuff happening sport-wise, but for soccer, I think this week is going to be critical to see how those coaches are going to adjust their game plans, and then hopefully next week we could see if Alex was right or if he was wrong because he's trying to be right anyway. So maybe he'll be right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So, Alex, thank you. Like always, we always appreciate your perspective. And it's fun that we kind of go back and forth. you know, and then so one thing we want to make sure that next time on the next episode, Alex can finally make a decision. So maybe that's one thing that we can say as one of the a poll tests that we take. Can Alex make a decision? Yes or no? So please
Yeah.
well, drop your comments, Alex. We love you, man. So for football unfiltered family, we out. We see you next time. Next week we're gonna be off because of Easter Sunday, but we'll be back again the following weekend for some more football unfiltered talks. See you guys.